Today we're going to learn about operators in Python, what operators are. So when it comes to this, in a layman term, we can say it's an instruction to Python which says what sort of operation to perform on the provided input. Let's understand these things with the help of, examples. So here we are in Jupyter Notebook, and all the operators which we have in Python are categorized in these 7 segments. Let's try to understand each of them one by one. Let's understand you have this number 9 and you have this number 8. If you just simply give this input to Python, will not understand to Python, it will not understand what exactly needs to be done, and it just throws an error. So you're gonna give an instruction, you're gonna tell Python to perform this sort of operation. What sort of operation you want Python to perform? You want Python to add these two things, so simply you say 9 plus 8 equals to 17, right? Similarly, what you're gonna do is, if you want to concatenate two strings, let's say Sam plus ir, okay, so it produces Samir. Okay, so this is how the arithmetic operators of works. So you see, in case of a string, this is just working as a concatenation. So I just showed you for the example purpose. You don't have to it doesn't actually comes in arithmetic operations. Okay, so what comes in arithmetic operations? Let's say you have the value 9, and if you want to divide it by 2 and want to get what remainder is, then what you're gonna do is, here you're gonna use modulus operator. This will give you the remainder. Now if you want to get the quotient after dividing 9 with 2, then you're gonna get this thing. If you want to get the rounded quotient, right, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna use forward slash twice, right? So this is what you get. Now if you want to raise this to power 2, then what we're gonna do is 9 exponent 2. So when you use double asterisk, that works as power, what you say, exponent. Okay, now what else do we have? I believe I covered all of these exponents. Whatever is left, I encourage you to, sorry, not exponent, the arithmetic operators. So whatever is left, I encourage you to go ahead and try it yourself. And just in case if you face any issue, don't hesitate to put that into the comment section. Moving forward, let's talk about the assignment operators, right? Let's say we just write 8 and the number 9, and we wanted Python to perform the addition on this. So we did this thing. Other than this, what you can do is you can say x equals to 8, and the other number which you can assign is y equals to 9, and then what you can do is x plus 9. So I hope you understood, right? Here what we are doing is, x is a variable, and in that we are assigning the value 8. So we are just storing it using the equals to sign, right? So equals to sign is used to store the value in a given variable, right? So that's where it's called the assignment operator, means we are assigning these two particular things. Okay, so now by looking at this, what you can see is x plus y equals to 17. You can simply say that rather doing x plus y, why do we need to do all these things? We can simply say 8 plus 9, right? That makes sense. What you're saying is absolutely right. But what if you have a list of values, for example, something like this, right? Something like this. Now you see, okay, just one small change which I need to make, that is, instead of full stop or decimal, we need to use comma, right? So this is the list which you have. Now if you have to perform certain action on this particular list, for example, you want to double it up, so again you will have to type this particular thing, right? For example, if you have this and you want to double it up, or double it up, then you got to type that thing. So instead of that will be, of course, a time consuming activity. So what you can do is we can simply assign this thing into x, inside x, and now what we can do is whatever action we want to perform on a particular list, we can simply do that on x, and here you're gonna, okay, I just need to hit enter. Now you get this, you see the list is doubled up. Okay, now if you want to slice and dice a list, that you can also do very simply. Okay, it's pretty simple to do that over here. Okay, let's see what is the wrong. Okay, that is out of range because here we have only 4 elements. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna say 2. So now you see you get the result. So this is how we use the assignment operator. So equals to sign simply assigns the value. For example, you see x equals to 8, right? And now you want to keep on increasing by excess values. So for example, x equals to 8, if you print Okay, so again I need to just assign this value because as of now the assigned value is a list. Right now I just changed that. Okay, now x has the value 8. What if I want to increase it by 8 again? So for that I will have to do plus 8, so you get 6. Now if you hit enter, other than what could be the other way of doing this, you can simply say x plus x, then again you get 16. But what if you want to keep on increasing, right? First, let's say first you got, what you got is, initially you had the value 8, then when you increase this is become 16. Now you want to keep it increasing by the x value, whatever value is recently available in x. So at the first place the value which was available was 8, now the value which is available by is 16. Now you want to increase it by 16, so the resulting value which you require is 32. Then you want to make it 40 or no, 64, right? Because 32 is doubled up to 64. So if you want to do keep on increasing this way, what is it that you're gonna do? If you do this, it's not going to increase, right? So you simply need to do is x plus equals to sorry, x plus equals to x, right? So what we're gonna do is first we are assigning, okay, let me just reset the value first. Okay, now x has the value 8, so we are saying whatever value is recently available in x, add the same value into it again, right? So here now we need to keep on printing this. Okay, so here what we're gonna get is 32, because okay, if you might get confused, so for that x equals to 8, now if you print it here you're gonna get 16, because in x the value which we had was 8 and what we asked Python to do is add the same value. Now if you hit enter again, then it becomes 32 because recently it had the value 16 and we asked to add x again, then it becomes 32. You can similarly keep on increasing. So this was through addition. If you want to increase it by doubling it up, you can just do that as well. So for that let me make it simple, and over here what we can do is x multiplication equals to x. So what we get is 4, then again 16. Every time it is doubling up. Okay, you see this is how the value is getting doubled up. So there are all these sort of increments. This will be more helpful when we start working on loops. As of now this might not be making much sense to you, but when we start working on loops, then this will make more sense. Okay, moving forward, I just hope that it was clear to you. If yes, then give a thumbs up. If no, then write in the comment section. Now moving forward, it comes on the comparison operators. So what happens in comparison? Actually we try to compare two values. Okay, so here in assignment I just, before moving forward, I'll just tell you one thing. X equals to 9. If you want to create multiple variables, so what do you say? X equals to 9, y equals to 6, and so on, right? So this is how it assigns the value. The other way is what you can do is you can simply say x comma y equals to 8 comma 4. So 8 will be assigned to x and 4 will be assigned to y. You want to try that? Just see this, right? X is printed to 8 and now if you try for y, you gotta get 4. So this is how you can do the assignment. I mean, make the assignment pretty simple. Okay, now moving forward, it comes to comparison. If you want to compare this, so here x and y we have created. Now if you want to compare this, whether both of these two things are equals to or not, both of these two things are same or not. So for that what you're going to do is you're going to use x equals y. So you see here I use double equals to sign, right? Why? Because if you use one equals to sign, then it will become assignment operator. So if you want to compare this, then you got to use the equals to sign twice. Okay, now if you hit enter, it says false because of course x is not equals to y. So that's why it is saying false. Now we want to test this way, x greater than y. It says true because yes, x has 8 and y has 4. So this is how the comparison operator is working. For example, you say what if we want to say that x not equals to y, then for that what are you gonna say? X and this exclamation sign. This you can find on the keyboard on number key, number key 1. You can press that key with shift, right? This is the note of exclamation, and then you use equals to sign and then say y. So it says true because x not equals to y, right? So exclamation and 1 equals to sign together calls not equals to. So I just hope that it is clear to you. Just in case if not, then write that into the comment section. I highly encourage you to go ahead and try all these remaining comparison operators. These are very simple, but just for fun you can try that, okay? Just for learning, you can learn that with fun. Okay, now it comes to logical operators, right? So here we say x equals to 8 and 4, sorry, y equals to 4. Let's say what logical operators does. X equals to, I'm saying x equals to y, it says false. I am saying I want to compare two ways, right? Let me make another one more variable. Okay, here I'll create one more variable which is called z, and here I'll give the value 3. Okay, now if you come over here, I say x equals to y and x equals to z, right? So you get false because both of these two statements are not correct, right? So what if I give the value 8 again? Okay, let me just change this value to 8. We are still getting false because x is not equals to y and x equals to z, but x equals to z, but still you are getting false because whenever you are using and logical operator, and if either of the two statements are false, then the result which you get is false. I just hope that it is clear. From both of these two statements, one statement is right, this one is right, so ideally you should get true, because if you remove this particular thing and if you hit enter, then you are going to get true. But because here we are using two statements and one of them are wrong, so this gives you the false result output as false. So this is the condition with and. If you are using or instead of that, then if either of these two are true, then it is going to give you true. If you are using and both of these two are true, then what will happen? Let's try that. Okay, here we're gonna say not equals to, so x equals to y and we are saying x not equals, sorry, we say y equals to z, sorry, here x we are saying x equals to y or we are saying y equals to z. Both of these two statements are false, so it's gonna give you false. We're gonna say x not equals to y and y not equals to z, then it's gonna give true. We are saying that x is not equals to y and y is also not equals to z, right? So it gives you the result true. And same you will get in case of or also, because both of these two statements are true. So difference between and or is, if when you are using and either of the two statements are false, then the output will be false. If you are using or, then if either of the two statements are true, then you'll get true. If both of those two statements are true, then you are going to get true in both of the two cases. If both of these statements are false in either of these two logical operators, then you are going to get the output as false. Okay, now if you talk about not, what will happen if you use not with this? So you see the result, you are getting false, right? Because whatever we are saying, right, x not equals to y and y not equals to z or y not equals to z, then Python also says yes, whatever you are saying is false. Okay, so this is how the not operator works. Now moving forward, here it comes the identity operator. What identity operator does is, it is little similar to logical operator. So what we're gonna say is x is y, the result which we are getting is false. We are saying x is y, just like John is Bond, right? John is not Bond, so that's what he is saying. Let's say John is also a doctor and Bond is also a doctor. So if you say here x is z, so then you are going to get true, right? So this is how this identity operator, it simply checks the identity. Now if you say is not, then it's gonna give you false. We are saying x is not z, no, that's not true. That's why Python is saying false. So if you say x is not y, then again we are going to get true, because x is of course not y. Here you see the value for x and y are different. I just hope that it is also clear to you. Just try it yourself and then only you will be able to understand. Otherwise I'll keep the complete story but you won't understand anything. Okay, now here it says membership operators. Let me create a member list. Okay, so possibly if you are someone who is fitness freak, or maybe someone who is very conscious about fitness, then what you do is you join a gym, right? You join a gym, and when you go in gym you get a registration number. Let's consider all these things are registration number in the provided in the gym, right? Now here X comes, his registration number is 88. Now you want to check whether X is the member of gym or not. So how are you going to check that? So you can simply say X in gym, is X in gym. So the result which you get is false. That means no, X is not a member of gym. So what we can show, X not in gym, then you get true. Yes, X is not in gym. Now if you just change the value of X and make it 55, and then if you see here it is becoming false, because X value is 55 and we are saying X is not in gym, which is wrong. X is in gym. So you, what are you gonna say? X in gym, and the result which you get is true. That means X is the member of gym, right? So I just hope that this operator is also clear to you. Next is bitwise operator. This is something related to, you know, binaries, right? So if you have knowledge of binary, then it is going to be very helpful to you, right? As of now I'm not going to cover this. Later on in this series we will be covering this, but for now we are not going to cover this. This is not in the scope, and I highly encourage you to go ahead and practice all these operators with on at your own, right? So that it will make more sense to you. Otherwise you're gonna forget about this thing. Until then, happy learning and